So there is a lot of 20-minute long videos showing off, well, not really much of the new Jets DLC. So I decided to make this quick video to show off each of the different new jets, as well as cover some of the new features that are coming with the Jets DLC. So number 1, we have the Griffon. This is a relatively manoeuvrable yet slow aircraft. It is far more manoeuvrable than any of the other jets in the DLC, and certainly more manoeuvrable than anything we currently have in the game, especially at lower speeds. However, lower speeds are where this aircraft will be staying, with a top speed of only around 990 km an hour and a max altitude of about 12,000 meters. The weapons this jet comes with are a 20mm cannon and 6 slots. It is worth noting that this jet, unlike the other two, does not have a stealth variant. You should also be aware when you're using this jet that there's going to be a green HUD in your cockpit which can significantly reduce your visibility in dogfights and when you're trying to target aircraft that you're tailing. However, with the great maneuverability of this jet, you should really be winning most of your dogfights. Moving on, we have the FA-181 Black Wasp II. This jet is based off of the FA-18 and F-22. It is a relatively manoeuvrable aircraft. I would rate it about a 7 out of 10, not quite as much as the Griffon, but certainly still more than anything we currently have in the game. It does make up for this lack of manoeuvrability, though, with a top speed of 1,325 km an hour and a max altitude of 15,000 meters. The weapons on this jet include a 20mm cannon and 12 weapon slots on the pylon and stealth variant. It's worth noting this is twice as much as you get with the Griffon. Moving on again, we have the T-0201 SheiKra. This is a somewhat manoeuvrable aircraft. I would rate it about a 6 or a 6.5 out of 10. Not quite as much as the other two jets, but certainly still more than anything we currently have in the game. It does make up for this lack of manoeuvrability though, with a top speed of 1,346 km an hour and a max altitude of 16,000 meters. It also has a 30mm cannon with 13 weapon slots on the pylon variant and 12 weapon slots on the stealth variant. Now moving on, last but not least, we have the Ukhov Sentinel. And whilst this isn't that important for a drone, it is surprisingly manoeuvrable. I would rate it about a 5 out of 10, and I would think if it were to have a cannon, it might be able to outfly some of the jets we currently have in the game. It has a top speed of 869 km an hour, with a max altitude of 12,100 meters. And it has 2 weapon slots, coming stock with 2 GBU-12s. So moving on to the features of this DLC. We have a new variable throttle system, where you no longer go from 100% to 0%. You can now adjust to any integer between 0 and 100. Runways now also show up on the HUD, so when you're trying to land when it's foggy or nighttime or any conditions with bad visibility, this makes life a lot easier. The new targeting system is also much better than the old one, and I can't congratulate VI enough on what they've done with some of these changes. The new sounds and HUD are also so much better than the old ones. And the variable loadout system that's coming with the Jets DLC is going to make it so much easier for mission and mod creators to have an effective way of actually making missions and vehicles. Now, something that those of you who will have made missions know is that when you're trying to place a vehicle, you often have about 50 different variants of that vehicle, each with different weapons. This is going to remove the need for that, and simply you will just have one variant of that vehicle, and you will be able to change the loadout yourself. So I hope this video helped you out. I hope you found it a bit more informative than some of the other videos out there, and I hope it gave you a bit more of an understanding as to what we'll see in the Jets DLC. It is also worth noting that all of these things may change in the future, but this is what they're like in their current state. So please, don't forget to like and subscribe because seriously, it helps me a lot.